Hey, what's good, everybody? I'd like to welcome you guys to the Boombox Guru. I'm your host, LB. So today, man, I got an album review for you guys. I'm gonna talk about one of the best metal albums that I've heard this year so far, and that is none other than Erebos by Venom Prison. This album was released on February 4th, 2022, and this album comes out on Century Media Records is the label, and it has 10 songs. So basically, after I did a reaction video to Venom Prison's Judges of the Underworld, I was thoroughly impressed with what I heard. Venom Prison, they're unlike any other death metal band that I've ever listened to. Their sound is an amalgamation of several different extreme metal genres. You got thrash metal, you got melodic death metal, technical death metal, progressive metal, and even some hardcore punk influences on this particular record. Lyrically, the subject matter, it ranges from political, social commentary to depression and death. So it kind of ranges from like certain topics about things that are happening in society, politics, to more personal things that are being dealt with. The first half of the album contains the most brutal songs, as most of them present a more straightforward death metal and slight hardcore, grindcore influence. It kicks off just right in with the first track called Born of Chaos, which is more of an interlude track, but that's probably the most death metal. Like if you're talking about straightforward death metal, that first half of the album is where you get most of that extreme brutality. But the second half of the album, while it's still extreme, it displays a more melancholy direction, has a lot of atmospheric textures. This side of the album also, it has like a lot of melody that could be akin to like Swedish death metal, like the Gothenburg scene. A lot of the solos kind of reminded me of stuff that I've heard from like Carcass, like Hard Work Carcass, In Flames, the Jester Race, At the Gates, Slaughter of the Soul. A lot of the guitar solos were sort of reminiscent of some of that stuff that I've heard on those like particular landmark melodic death metal albums. And lead vocalist Larissa Stupar, man, she does a great job at alternating between her harsh gutturals and clean vocals. I will say on the first half of the album, she mainly sticks to using her more guttural death metal type vocals, but once you get to the second half of the album, this is when she starts to slightly alternate. Like she continues to use most of her gutturals through most of those particular songs on that second half, but she will at some moments the band will kind of like slow things down and it becomes a little bit kind of like ambient, and she'll like implement like these very kind of like dreamy like clean vocals. So she does a really good job at that. And I also feel like even when she's using her like harsher vocals, man, she does a really great job at like finding that balance where it's not too like guttural where it's indiscernible, and it's not too like shrieky where it's kind of, I don't know, like off-putting or annoying. She has a really good balance vocally when she displays her vocals on a lot of these songs, man. And to continue on about this album, man, like there's certain moments on this record that kind of reminds me of like Carcass, like when they put out Hard Work. And Venom Prison actually cited Carcass as one of their influences, but especially in the guitar solos, like I just said earlier, man, if you listen to a lot of the guitar solos, the guitar solos are really melodic, and I don't know, man, they just kind of remind me of like the whole Gothenburg Swedish death metal scene that was real popular back in the mid '90s, man. But a lot of it, this album does kind of, it's kind of sort of reminiscent of like the Hard Work Carcass album in a lot of ways. Not that it sounds exactly like that record, because Venom Prison is definitely doing their own thing. It's just you can kind of cite those influences in a lot of what they're doing in the sound. But Erebos is an album that I think that will definitely keep your attention throughout its entire playthrough. Like Venom Prison, man, they execute their technicality and their diversity extremely well, making this record to be one of the best metal releases of 2022. And honestly, it is, even though it's only been like a month since its release, I really do feel that Erebos will go down as a true death metal classic a few years from now, man. I really do believe that people are gonna look at this record as a crowning achievement within the death metal genre. I know, and even though this album does present a lot of things, a lot of influences that come from the past. Venom Prison just does a great job at fusing all these influences together and creating their own unique sound. And I think that's what's helping. I think that's what's really helping them stand out amongst the bunch. The reason why they're gaining so much more attention now. And I hope to one day see these guys live. I mean, they're a wonderful band, man. I haven't put down this album since I purchased it, man. I listened to it on Spotify first, but got the physical copy, and I haven't been able to step away from it since, man. It's just a wonderful record. I've just never heard death metal sound so good, man. It sounds so interesting, man. Like they're just definitely taking things to a new level with this record, man. So if you haven't heard Erebos by Venom Prison, man, I highly recommend you go stream it, download it, go buy physical copies of it, because this is a true classic, man. And you can't tell me that this album isn't going to be probably on everybody's best metal albums of 2022 list. I mean, it's just that good, man. It's straightforward. Well, not straightforward, but just all killer, no filler. From track 1 to track 10, every song is a banger, man. There's no like filler tracks on here. There's no weak moments on here. Everything is just done so like perfectly on this record, man. So I definitely highly recommend this for anybody that's looking for some new metal music to check out this year. Definitely get up on Venom Prison, man. I know after listening to this record, they've definitely made me a fan of them, and I'm definitely gonna go back and check out their previous albums in their discography as well, man. So definitely go support Venom Prison, man. Definitely go listen to their music, whatever, man. I know they've earned a fan with me, man. I'm glad I did that reaction video to judges of the underworld, because it just introduced me to a new band that's actually, the more I listen to this record, they're becoming my favorites, man. But yeah, definitely go check out Erebos by Venom Prison, man. Definitely one of the best death metal albums of this year, and I think most certainly it's going to go down as one of the greatest death metal albums of all time, and from a few years from now, man. So definitely check it out. So that's it for this album review of Venom Prison, Erebos, man. Hope you guys enjoyed this album review. If you did, do me a huge favor, hit the like button. Helps with the algorithm. Also, be sure to hit that subscribe button and tap that bell so you'll be notified whenever I drop new content. I want to give a big shout out to all my old and new subscribers, everybody that's been taking the time to watch the videos. I truly appreciate it. And as always, hope everybody has a blessed day, a blessed week, and love, peace, and music. Peace out, y'all.